This year, $1 billion is being spent on AI every day. If you add up the investments, venture capital investments and the government investments being poured into AI around the world, it's somewhere around $1 billion a day. That is the greatest gold rush in the history of capitalism.
I did want to start by referencing an interesting book, Atlas of AI by Kate Crawford. And the reason that I brought this up is that she cites that AI is neither artificial nor intelligent. It's actually a kind of reflection of all the human endeavors, the histories and the classifications that have been captured on the internet over this course of its life. And when you kind of look at it from that frame and perspective, the types of things that we can see potentially manifesting through those systems that are trained is really just a sort of tapestry of all the good and the bad that's ever been kind of written or captured in the past.
Thank you, Raymond, for joining us for this afternoon's event. What do you think, Raymond, is some of the toughest challenges facing AI regulation today?
There are 3 challenges. One is a taxonomy challenge. How do you define AI for regulation? You don't want to define it too broadly that captures every software, or too narrowly that under captures high-risk systems. There's an economic challenge. How do you balance between regulation and innovation and make sure you get a healthy balance? And number 3, structural. Some countries, like their constitutions, they have free speech protections, or other countries have civil law system versus common law system. That influences the way you approach an AI regulation drafting.
Can you tell us what would be the impact and outlook on the startup ecosystem if there's more legislation around AI?
Yeah, I mean, it's always a tough one because you think, you want less regulation and governance because we can move faster. But I mean, if you look back and what happened with social media and over the last 10 years, I think it would be good to have a level playing field with regards to legislation, because you don't want somebody to have all the data, build all the algorithms, own all the world, and then have legislation come in, raising the bar at that point. You want that to happen right at the start so everyone's got an even playing field.
What do you see as one theme of the future in the global AI trend?
I think one of the big areas that we see emerging is what people probably see today as these monolithic models like a ChatGPT and what people are accustomed to. That's probably going to be an ecosystem that changes a lot in enterprise, with smaller models coming together, forming what we call a compound system to generate a series of decisions that leads to a business outcome. And we're going to see that increasingly more in the large enterprise ecosystems in particular. So that's, I think, one trend that's really going to revolutionize the way enterprises get value out of Gen AI.
Why was Westpac a founding member of UNSW's Fintech AI Consortium?
Look, what we were really attracted to was the academic and industry partnership that we'd be able to achieve. This is an emerging space when we're talking about things like AI, blockchain, the quantum computing front that will be coming towards us. Thinking about all of these technologies is really challenging to be able to draw the right people into the business and to draw the right thought leadership. If we use AI as an example today, we're able to do that. We've got great talent coming out of UNSW. We're able to bring together thought leaders in forums like this, where we're actually getting insights that we can use in our business every day.
Can you tell us a little bit more about your AI policy development work that you do at the Gradient Institute?
Absolutely. So Gradient Institute is a non-for-profit research institute. It closely works both with the government and private sector. With the government is with the purpose of informing the upcoming policy, public policy and regulations through the technical lens. And when it is working with the private sector, it is with the purpose of helping those enterprises to build their own internal policies related to AI.
Why do you think the concept of responsibility is so important in AI regulations?
Because data itself is really powerful, and it can be used for all sorts of purposes, both good and bad. You might compare it to uranium, that is super powerful to be able to power an entire city, but it also can be quite explosive, it can be toxic, and there are radioactive after effects. So it's critical that we have responsibility, whether those are imposed from external regulations or from internal voluntary controls, so that we can use data for the power that it contains.
What do you think the major topics that came out of this afternoon's roundtable discussion?
There's 2 topics that stick into my head. One is there's such a big patchwork of regulations, and these regulations makes it very hard to look at AI regulation. because they link with technical standards. So there is on one hand the law and on the other hand the technology, and what should sit between the two is a very important research topic, I think, and it definitely gives us motivation to investigate it further. The second one was the software engineering side. Building systems at the moment does not consider these issues that are important for AI regulation, like explainability, but we should integrate explainability, clarity, ethics at the heart of the software development cycle very early and not leave it as an afterthought.